people think personality is random, but there is a pattern, a progression, and once you see it, you can never unsee it. Most people assume that people are just different. This is not true. There are only 5 types of people in this world, not by status, not by background, not by money, but by awareness. And the moment you recognize where you are, everything begins to change. The first type is the drifter. This is where most people are. They live, but they are not truly present. They move, but they are not truly aware. Something feels off. Something feels missing. But instead of facing that feeling, they escape it. Distraction becomes their comfort. Noise, entertainment, constant movement, because silence is uncomfortable. And the truth is, it's not silence that they are avoiding. It is what silence reveals. A question, a quiet voice that asks, is this really all there is? But they don't stay long enough to hear it. Then comes the seeker. The seeker cannot ignore the question anymore. They stand to feel it more often. In quiet moments, in random thoughts, in the middle of their normal life, there must be more than this. They begin to question things, life, reality, the way things have always been. They don't have answers yet, but something has shifted. And there is the truth about this stage. It is uncomfortable because you are no longer asleep, but you are not awake either. You are in between. And once you enter this stage, you can never go back to who you were before. Then comes the student. This is where curiosity becomes commitment. The student doesn't just ask questions. They search for answers. They study books, teachings, philosophy, spiritual ideas, hidden patterns. They begin to connect things. They see what others don't see. To understand that life is not as simple as it looks. But there is a danger here, a quiet trap. You can become addicted to knowledge without ever changing. You can understand everything and still remain the same. Because knowledge is not transformation. And many people stay here longer than they realize. Then comes the initiates. This is where everything becomes real. You are no longer just learning. You are experiencing. The things you once read about begins to happen within you. Your awareness shifts. The way you see people changes. the way you see yourself changes. Your habit begins to break. Your identity begins to dissolve. And this stage is powerful. But it is also isolating, because you start to outgrow things, conversations, environment, and even people. Not out of pride, but out of alignment. You begin to realize you cannot go back. And that realization changes everything. And then the rarest stage, the light bearer. This is not about being special. It is about being clear. You see, not because you were given something others weren't, but because you stayed. You faced the question. You walked through the confusion. You allowed the transformation. And now you understand people, patterns, truth. And with that understanding comes something else. A responsibility. You feel it. To speak, to guide, to reveal, not to control people, but to help them see. Because you remember what it felt like not to. Now, here is the truth. You are not randomly one of these. You are moving through them. This is a progression, and whether you realize it or not, you are already in it. That feeling you have had, that curiosity, that pull, that quiet knowing, it is not random. Something in you is responding. So the question is not which type are you. The real question is, will you ignore what you feel? Or will you follow it? Because once you see this, you can't unsee it. If this spoke to you, you already know. Subscribe. Stay close. There is more to understand.